Well, Leo, this is your weekly tarot card reading from Born Without Boundaries Tarot, and it is for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. And I gotta say, it's one son of a bitch of a week. I don't think necessarily horrible things are happening, but it's constant. Pluto is going to be opposite the sun. Was opposite the sun throughout this whole full moon. What does that mean for you? It means almost like facing your demons. And with this trine to Neptune that you'll be experiencing, that the sun is experiencing most of this week, I gotta say, it's got a lot to do with the ways that you escape and different sort of modalities or illusions that you've created that all of a sudden now, especially since Neptune is in retrograde, that you've got to face and you've got to look at. And that's never fun, but it's always worth it. And this opposition to Pluto only lasts through the end of July. There are some really wonderful things that are happening too, because the sun is moving into Leo. You'll be home. The sun will be home by the end of this week. Mercury actually comes into Leo as well in the beginning of this week. So those are two energies that go really well with Leo energy. Clearly, the sun is at home in Leo. It's the king has returned to his or her castle. And Mercury does really well in Leo too. Does really good in the presence of the king. It's like it likes to get orders directly from the king. It's like Mercury is most comfortable functioning in a certain person, in a person who is sure of themselves, because that clears up the mind. And with Mercury in Leo, the same time the sun is in Leo, there is this brightness about you, this clarity about you. So there's no better time to be opposite than Pluto than when Mercury is, riding with you. Remember, Leo, that I always create an extended video. That link is down below, and I hope you guys can join me for it after this reading, or join the Unbound membership to this channel. And through the Unbound membership, you will get access to all of the extended readings as well as all of the channel perks. So I hope you'll consider that too. Remember to subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so that you know when I upload your favorite content. Leo content comes out every single Friday at 8:30 a.m. Pacific time. Let's get into the cards. See the big picture. This may be the first time in a long time that you've been able to be objective about your situation, about your life, or about yourself. To be able to look at things from the perspective of not self-hating or self-blaming or even self-judging, but to be able to see where you fit in amongst everybody else. It's very opposite, right? It's very almost Aquarian. It's not about fitting in or about what other people think of you, not about that stuff at all, but it's about realizing that it's not just about you. And especially all the things that you have been through, like starting to see that there's a wider, broader group here to think of, something outside of people bigger than me. Could be your family, absolutely. You see clearly now, and this is Aquarius energy. See the big picture, and you see clearly now. It's like you're clearly seeing the big picture now. That's what it is. And you're clearly seeing that, yeah, this is Aquarius. It really isn't all about you or how you impact and affect others and how your decisions and choices are impacting others. There is a sense of finally realizing that aha moment happening when you realize how your actions and your choices are really being interpreted and how they are really impacting other people. And I'm not talking about other people that you don't know and wouldn't give a shit about. I'm talking about people that are immediately around you all the time that you most absolutely certainly would give a shit about. It's like you're being awakened to it. You're starting to realize it. You're starting to see it. Okay. Leo. This is also could have something to do with finances as well. And sweet results await. This is Leo energy. It's just popped up in reverse. Why don't I like that? It's because there's some sense of either entitlement or, hey, shouldn't I get the honey before I do the work? or there's still work to be done, which is not a bad thing. In fact, watch the Cancerian video. There's a wonderful message in that about how, yeah, we do still have some work to do. You know, this isn't it. This isn't when the treasure trove falls in your hands, but it is when you get the map, and the map becomes clear. And of course, there is still work to do and trials to be challenged by, but at least you know the way. So sweet results await. This is a sense of not so much, not so sweet, not so soon. The honey has not been brewed yet. Still hard work to be done. Or also starting to realize any kind of ways that you tried to cut corners, if you did, this is when they come back to you. And this is when you start to realize, wow, maybe I didn't affect me or I didn't hurt me, but I did actually hurt others. This could also have to do with addiction and abuse and different ways that you have impacted your actions or choices have impacted others. Then we have set healthy boundaries and surrender now. Well, that is the Serenity Prayer, if I've ever had a representation of it. In other words, it's being held accountable for all that you see. You're not standing there in denial. You're not standing there trying to argue your point. You're not standing there in any kind of egotistical way trying to, it's almost like you're happy in a way. And that has to do with this beautiful sextile in the beginning of the week to Uranus, is that you want the change. You don't want to resist the change. You know that the change is necessary and needed, but maybe you just didn't understand what the hell change do I have to make. There could have been legitimate confusion, especially with that trine to Neptune, almost getting a little bit too comfortable in your own illusions, in your own delusions. And then all of a sudden you're just like, okay, I'm sick of this. I don't want this anymore. I want real change. I want the honey, right? You know, I want to know what is actually going to work out. And that's basically when you sort of step up and say, hey, clearly I have to switch around and start, you know, creating boundaries for myself. Surrender now and just give over to this fact. It's not personal. This is Sagittarius energy. So it's about, it's not personal, but instead it's just what needs to be done. It's what needs to happen in this moment. Set healthy boundaries and surrender now. Every time I see any type of Sagittarian energy, this could be going someplace or traveling somewhere. But no, I think it's actually giving over to the fact that you know now that you need to establish a whole different set of boundaries. And I'm feeling, because of that Pluto opposition, it's about your behavior. It's got something to do with your behavior. Act as if, and this is in reverse. So it's either, the disguise has come off. You know, the jig is up. You can't hide it anymore. Something has become very clear. Something very personal has become very clear. The jig is up. You see it. It's out of disguise. In reverse, act as if you can't pretend anymore. Right? You can't pretend. You don't want to pretend. And now I have to actually setting boundaries is about taking responsibility for something. So that's what you're doing. You're taking responsibility for, I don't know, impulsivity, running out on things, escapism, all of those things you could be taking accountability for. This could also be a sense of letting things go too far, taking responsibility for letting things go too far, or finally realizing that things have gone too far. So this is the message in the cards. So you're listening, right? Things have gone too far. And that's just I think the main point right now is that things have gone too far, and you're finally recognizing it because you see into the future, not into the future, but you see the distance. You see the distance. I don't want to say into the future because it's not psychic. It's actually tangibly real. You see what's up ahead. Now it becomes very clear what's up ahead if changes are not made. So let's get a little bit into that. Maybe we can get some insight, please, into what exactly What exactly those things are that we're starting to see. The abundant universe will provide. So this is actual blessings being sent to you. It's almost realizing in some way, maybe you're traveling somewhere or moving somewhere, that there is this sense of you have to, whatever boundaries maybe you've established, you have to allow to be broken down because they're not working or they're not fitting your new life. The new boundaries have to be built. That's what setting healthy boundaries is. You don't want to build the Berlin Wall everywhere. You don't want to build the Great Wall of China everywhere. This is about what boundaries, if any, do I need. The abundant universe will provide. So it's saying, if you're worried about finances, maybe you're not. It doesn't have, whatever the resources you feel you lack to make these changes now that you know you need to make them, the abundant universe, as soon as you say, I'm in, I'm locked in, I'm going to do this, the universe is going to provide those resources for you. But first, that choice has to be made, that commitment has to be made, the papers has to be signed, or you just have to be able to say it out loud, Leo, that I know that I need to do this. This is what I want. I'm going to make this official. Set a date. Set a date. The universe will then provide based on that date of those resources to come in for you. There is always enough. Look at this. There's abundance here. There is always enough. Now, because this is Piscean energy and Neptune rules Pisces, and the sun is participating in a beautiful grand trine between Neptune and Pisces and the South Node in the South Node in Scorpio. The sun is in participation when it's in Cancer, and it's just this wonderful grand water trine of being more comfortable with emotions than you normally would. But I think it's more, okay, I'm comfortable with my past. I'm comfortable with my past. I see beyond it. I see that there is potential to go beyond it. I see where I need to make changes to it. Right? And it all is stemming from comfort with it, because you're not running from it anymore. You're not denying it. So anything that you were in denial about is absolutely gone. There is a connection to your emotions that is very comfortable, a comfort with the past and where you've come from, but in order to inform your future, not pollute your future and keep you stuck in the same patterns. That's actually not what's happening. This is about owning up to where you've been and what you've been through. We have the abundant universe will provide, and there is always enough. So yeah, you will be supplied with what you need, but this is also an emotional time. I want to just let you guys know that there is going to be a lot of emotion surrounding this. Something very emotional, hopefully something that makes you very happy. But I have a feeling that even if something makes you very happy right now, there will be some tears of sadness there too. There's just a lot of emotional release that has to happen right now. Let it happen, Leo. Let it happen. I don't care if you have to do it in front of people. I don't care if you want to do it in private. I want you to feel it to allow the healing to happen. There is always enough. The abundant universe will provide. You have not missed the bus. Life has not passed you by. There is enough. I don't want to be rushing to these cards. Let me just, no, these are good. These are good. They all have different voices, Leo. All of the cards. So I want to know which one I need to be listening to. Leo. Leo. More Sagittarius energy. Time to travel. Time to go somewhere. Where are you guys going? No, seriously. And this is definitely about expansion. So this has to do with Jupiter, of course. But this is, yeah, expanding your horizon, expanding your capabilities. Maybe you're going international. Is almost a sense of think outside the box. I think you maybe have gotten into a comfort zone and now you have to exceed that comfort zone. And maybe for the first time you're ready to do that. You're ready to allow your imagination to take you to different places. And trust your imagination enough to take action on that and to move forward with things. Or maybe even invest in them. Taurus, Sagittarius, Pisces. Creativity. There's a lot of creativity. You will be extremely brilliant when it comes to ideas and concepts. I would say carry around a little book, piece of paper and pencil or pen or your phone, wherever you go. Be prepared, because ideas are going to be popping into your head all the time, and they're going to be great ones. And you don't want to forget it and leave it into the past, because based on these cards, there is definitely future. There is the future in these ideas of yours. So whatever you're creating or whatever you're coming up with, this is sort of the recognition that there's so much potential to manifest them into reality and make them happen. Especially when that sun comes home to Leo, you're going to be real confident. I mean, you're always real confident. Or I shouldn't say that, because that's not always true. But this is almost just confident enough to go slow, confident enough to commit yourself long term, and doing whatever it takes to get to the point where you can feel confident enough to do that. Sagittarius energy. No, I want to check the moon card out. Twice it came out. Just let yourself, it's almost like just believe. Just let yourself believe. Or how have you gotten distracted? That could be also what this reading is asking you. How have you let yourself get distracted from your course? How have you let fantasies push you around almost, or distract you, or allow yourself to get off track? We have prosperity lies ahead. There's some sort of expansive goal. Are you expanding out internationally, Leo? You're doing something internationally. Maybe you're working with people that you didn't work with before. There's something international here. In other words, you've become a big fish in a small pond. It's time to leap outside and go into the ocean. There are inherent dangers in that. And that's why I say it's not like the rough times are over, but this is like a new ride for you. This is a new adventure. And prosperity lies ahead in whatever you're actually strategizing or planning, especially if it goes outside of what you would normally do, or who you'd normally do it with, or where you'd normally do it, because this could very well be international. It's saying the world is yours, Leo. Think outside the little boundaries of your kingdom that you've gotten a little too comfortable in. You have got to open up. This could also be travel. This could also be travel. Okay, so let me know. Is this travel? Is this travel? They going somewhere? You definitely can't hide it anymore. Somebody's been stealing from you. Watch who, let me just say this to you right now. None of this, everything else stays on the table. But watch who you tell things to. Watch who you trust with these ideas. People are sitting there listening by your side, pretending to be your friends, and ultimately, they're also thieving. They're also swiping. Be very cautious of that. Know that. Don't let it make you jaded or make you not trust the world, because there are some bad people in it. But there is definitely some falsehoods, some fake friends. Being distracted while people take from you. Okay? That's interesting. I feel like you're going to learn this through the grapevine. Somebody's going to say something, somebody's going to tell somebody something, you're having a conversation, and all of a sudden you realize something's been going on, or somebody is distracting you with gossip, or being distracted by gossip, too much petty shit. It's almost like in some ways what you've wanted to hear has become the worst drug available to you. And by people, when people surround you and just sort of tell you what you want to hear and let you get sort of wrapped up in it, they are intentionally distracting you, and they're doing it for their own good because they're taking resources from you or they're taking advantage of you. That's a truth that you need to know. I'm going to go deeper. Let's go. Wait, first, before I go, we're going to go to the extended reading, Leo. But before I do that, who is this person? I'll tell you right now, they're a friend, or they're pretending to be a friend. Medicine Mother, honor your inner knowing. Who is this person? What do they look like? I don't know that this is what they look like, but it is a great message. Honor your inner knowing. So in other words, you're aware of this. You're aware of this shadowness. You're aware of this creeping. So what do you do about it? It's like at this point, why play fucking games? Just call somebody out. Let's go to the extended. I'll see you guys there.